Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. Do you guys like my top? I feel like Lady Gaga. It's cute, right? It's from Forever 21, if you guys are wondering. Anyway, so today I want to talk about, like how to overcome stress and how to remain calm and, throughout different life, situations. And I'm going to talk about a couple of scenarios because a lot of my friends, and I'm sure everyone, it's the same for everyone. Everyone's starting like it's exam period. If you go to university or college, or I know overseas they have their midterms right now. And in general, like that's on one side. Other stress, things that cause stress, like I don't know, maybe guy issues, maybe family issues, different stuff like that. And a couple of my close people. Who do I think I am? A couple of my close friends have been going through stress, and obviously even me. I mean, it's normal. I just want to talk about a couple of things that I think are really good ways to reduce stress. Number one aspect that I think a lot of people taken with is the fact that they run away from their problems, or they try to hide their emotions, or they try to they don't speak about it or anything. I think that's really wrong. Maybe, I don't know, I guess I've never been someone to hide not like my emotions. If I'm angry, I'll kind of tell the person. Speaking, I think you should try to definitely solve out the issue. If it's with a person, definitely try to talk to them. If it's a problem, try to I know it's obviously so much more easier to say than do, but you have to try and solve it as quickly as you can. Snap. That was so rude. Anyway, but okay, so a couple of scenarios. One of my best friends, who I'm talking about, she's a really positive person. She's out there, she's social, whole 9 yards. And 1 month, this was last month, she was having a really bad month. How people have a really bad day, a really bad week. She was having a really bad month. And seriously, she would call me, one thing would go wrong. We're like, okay, we can solve this, let's figure this out. We were about to solve it, and then something worse would happen, and something even worse would happen. You know what I mean? It was crazy. And obviously it's not up to her. Things like this happen to everyone. Because it was like her life was tumbling down basically. And one day, she was so stressed. She basically she was like, I'm sick of it. I don't know what to do. Okay, so her problem was her. And by the way, if I say uni, that means university. I'm sorry. I guess it's something Australians say a lot. So it was her. I don't know. Her application wasn't working. She couldn't register in classes. It was crazy. When retarded, let me tell you. And she was stressed. She couldn't get into university through that. I don't know. Applications were closed. So that. One side, and then the other problem was that this guy that she liked later on, and that it wasn't her fault. If a guy leaves you on, he leaves you on, you know what I mean. And she fell for the guy liked her, but the guy was interested in another girl. That was a bit crazy. And then her work got retarded, she couldn't work anymore. Anyway, so the point is that I'm trying to tell you guys that these things happen. It's normal. It happened to one of my really close friends. Anyway, so we're like, what should we do? And I don't want to say anyone's stuff, especially one of my best friends. I'm like, stuff, you know what I mean? And so we're like, hey, what should we do? And I always tell her, and I always tell a lot of people, if you guys are stressed for something, I think you guys should write it down. Because once you write it down, that kind of releases your stress. I don't know, it does to me. And B, when you look at it on paper, you're like, is that it, You can figure it out more. So write it down on a piece of paper, one, no, why you're stressed, 2, blah, 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 3, you know what I mean? And, okay, so I sat her down and I'm like, we're going to figure this out, we're going to help you. Obviously, everyone has your back, and then she knew that. So we began calling university first, one by one we did everything. She spoke to the guy, she figured it out. Not everything's going to work out. Obviously, I would, if it was up to me, I would want everyone to be positive all the time, happy, no negativity, world peace, whatever, you know what I mean? But, not everything is going to go your way, and that's life, that's reality. Sometimes I hate the fact that, but it's the truth, you know what I mean? You can't do anything about it. You have to have faith. And she began to pray. Whatever you have faith in, believe in that. I always go by the quote that everything, I told you guys in my How to Become Confident video, I go by the quote that everything happens for a reason. Big believer of that, and I definitely am also a big believer of that. God's not that cruel. He's not going to give you something or throw something at you that He knows that you can't handle. You know what I mean? I think that's really important to know. And so we can get through everything. And I don't know why, I think it's been like 3 years now, I always have like this voice in my head, like, even for like small things, like I'll be going to class, but I'm like 5 minutes late, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, what if the teacher gets mad at me? And I'm like, and this voice in my head always says like, okay, you're not going to die. I don't know why. That's so weird. I mean, why would a voice say that in my head? But I don't know why that voice says that in my head, and like that motivates me. I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to die. Or if like I have a big assignment, like an essay, like a paper to write, and I'm struggling, and I can't, you know, it's not happening for me. I'm like, okay, you're not going to die, you're going to get through this. You know what I mean? I try to solve it out. And with friends, I think, my other scenario, if you have problems with friends, I think you should definitely sit down one-on-one and talk with them. I find it better if it's you and one person having a problem. I find it better if it's just you and that person talking, not like you, that person, the other friend, and the other. You know, it gets too much. I think listening is a really good, it plays a really big part in it. I mean, if she has something to say, or he has something to say that you don't, like, no, I find that wrong, you don't believe in it, try to understand, and maybe that way you can, and try to listen. What, like, their side of the story, where they're coming from, their problem, you know what I mean? And the same goes to, like, if you like a guy, if a guy likes you, but the girl's not interested, or the guy, everything does happen for a reason. So if it's not working out with that one particular guy, or that one particular girl, I think there is someone else out there. And you know what I mean? I know it's so much more easy to say than do, or to think about it. I mean, I'm probably the biggest hypocrite when it comes to these things. But, like, I mean, obviously I get stressed out too, but everything does happen for a reason. And you know what, if that guy or that girl doesn't treat you right, or let's just say scenario number 4, I think, if the guy cheats on you and you're angry because you like the girl cheats on you and you're angry because you like the girl, well, would you really want someone to treat you like that? Or if he treats you bad, if he doesn't call you back, if he doesn't spend time with you? All these scenarios I'm getting from people around me, and you know, it's reality. You know, not everything's going to work out all the time, and that's okay. That's why you have your friends, you have your family behind you. And as I said before, things will work out. So back to what I was saying about writing your emotions and your feelings down in a diary or a piece of paper. I'll show you guys an example. Like, this is, I write like random stuff. You know, you don't understand how many diaries. You guys think I'm kidding. I have a lot of diaries. I have like, I think a box and a half of diaries. I write a lot. I really try. Not like, it doesn't have to be about my life or something that happened. I just write. I like writing. So this is an example of my diary. Okay, I'm going to read you guys what I did on June 25th. I'm kidding. No. But you know what, like, there's like random things, like cards. You can keep whatever you want. It's an example. I love Hilary Duff. Look, she signed that. That's her autograph. I love her so much. I met her back in 2003, I think it was. Yeah. And I feel like you can stick stuff in it, photos, whatever you guys want, whatever helps you guys. I mean, everyone has their own method. I have a friend that like sings when she gets stressed, different stuff like that. But anyway, my point is, write it down, talk to someone, don't keep it in. And you know what, when you actually think about it, is your problem big, like, or are you making it big? Because I think people like me, we exaggerate it in our heads, where like, if someone's like, I don't know, even, it doesn't have to be something necessarily negative, especially something positive, I exaggerate that too. What the hell, man? But you know what I mean, like, we shouldn't make the problem bigger than it already is, if it's big. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and what I think, like, okay, I'm trying to think of what I do besides writing it down in my diary. I dance a lot. I think that, I know it sounds so cliche, but honestly, I think it releases your, like, anger, and dancing releases endorphins too, so that's pretty good. It makes you happy. Or exercise releases endorphins. Every time, you know, I'm a bit, like, stressed, or, like, I'm, like, you know how you get, like, this, like, mood, like, you know, like, whatever. I run a lot. I run a lot on the treadmill. You know, I run a lot. I dance. I speak to people. You know, I try to stay cool. Everything does happen for a reason. And I don't know if it's helpful, but I definitely, I mean, this is what I tell my friend, what I tell my close friends, or any friend that comes to me and asks for advice. I think it's really important. And if it's like family issues, I mean, they're your family. They always have your back. Even though one day your mom or your dad might get angry at you. People are stressed. I get angry at people too. You know, I try not to, but obviously I snap. People snap. But you have to think about where they're coming from, kind of thing, because sometimes it's like they're stressed, and there might be times that they don't actually say it, like, okay, listen, I'm stressed, if I get angry, don't take it to heart. But I mean, their parents are not going to really tell you, listen, darling, today I'm really stressed. I mean, I don't know, my mom probably wouldn't. But you know, you have to look at it from there. We should make it fun. We should honestly not think about negative stuff. At the end of the day, we should honestly think about what we can do rather than thinking about the past and what's happened, thinking about how we can progress and make that into a positive aspect instead of a negative aspect. And and if someone's giving you trouble, like I mentioned in my How to Become Confident video, I also mentioned this, so I think like 90% of all fights and arguments are because of jealousy, so think of it that way, you know what? You're like, you know what, you're jealous of me? Be jealous of me, kind of thing. Imagine if you said that to someone.
My lips like sugar.